Today I've got something a little bit unusual. This is about a 1950s, early 60s cigar humidor. Thought I would go ahead and try to restore that today to give you an idea of if you have something similar to that, how you would approach it, how you would fix it. So as you can see, I've got a broken leg on this. Fortunately, all the pieces are there. And if you'll notice on these, there are flat bladed screws in here, which is good because that kind of gives you an idea of when it was made. So first thing I'm going to do here is open this up for you to reveal that beautiful copper interior. It's up on top, sides, back, and on the door also. It's been nailed in. Unfortunately, I still have the original knob, which will go back on here. Going through the checklist of things I need to do with this, the stand itself is fairly sound. Right now it's a little bit uneven because I've got that broken leg, but the interior is perfect. The top needs some work, but the nice thing about this particular cabinet is that when I turn it over, I'm not sure what the wood is, could be walnut, most likely is. You'll see that the leg that fits here has some problems. So that's got to all be cleaned out and put back together. That's the first priority. To make my job easier, I can go ahead and take the legs off, completely disassemble it. In most cases, when I work on furniture like this of that period, I don't have the option of actually unscrewing parts of it. All the screws are in good condition, so I'll be putting those back in. So that's about 1.5 inch screw. I'll put those to the side over here so I don't lose them. This will come off. I can tell the original color here, definitely walnut. Okay, I'll put that aside because I'm not going to work on that right now. What I do have to do first is the leg. Let's see if I have the option of taking this apart here. Looks like it's coming. It's doweled. There it is. Okay, this one has a bit of a problem here. Okay, let's see if I can remove this one. Keep all my parts together. Okay, even the little splinters of wood, I don't think I'll use those. Here's another screw. So this one has definitely been repaired once before. Now see the glue line here. Looks like they used an airplane glue. So what has to happen here, I've got to clear out some of this. Looks like there's a bunch of glue right here. So that's got to come out. All right, let me flip this over. I got a nail right there. Yep, there it is. So let's see if I can knock it out of there. And there it is. We got to those pliers. All right, now I've got something out there we can get. Tiny small bread, get pain to get out. All right, so now we have the possibility of putting it back together. Now that piece that's missing over here is fairly nice and clean. And by the time I clamp it, yep, I think that's going to work. Well, I'm not sure what kind of glue they're using on this, but what I'm going to be using is a woodworking glue. That will give me the holding strength to keep that in place. All right, let's get that scraped down. Got to get all that glue off. If I don't, it won't stick. It looks pretty good. That will go right there when it's all finished. Okay, I'll come back to that in a few minutes. And here, I can actually see how well it's going to fit. Now I have to decide where am I going to clamp it. So the clamping is going to be done there. At this point here, then I've got to clamp just over here. Now to prevent this from being stuck to the board, I need some wax paper or parchment paper. I'm going to put it here. I'll get this glue covered. I want some squeeze out. I'll clean up all the water. All right, I think I got all the glue on that I need. There will be some squeeze out, which is good. Now I'm going to go ahead and position it. I've got 2 points of pressure to worry about. Pull slowly, see how it works. I'm getting a little bit distortion right here on the edge. So I think what I'll do is slide this forward. Now I'm having a little trouble keeping this on that slope. So I'm going to use a piece of sandpaper. Double it over. Put it right there. And I'll need another piece on the other side. Now I'll try it again. There's my joint. Making sure everything is set up here. That's tight. That's tight. This is clamped down. The weight's holding the mass of the piece down. I've got the glue over here to show me when it's finally set up. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it for now for a couple of hours, and I'll come back. So it looks like a pretty good mend. Pretty good attachment. Now the next phase of this is going to be to actually refinish the piece, but I think I'll put that off until the next video. But I'm going to go ahead and put it back together again just to give you an idea how it will look. All right. All right, put this last screw in. Let's see if I can get it. All right. Legs are intact, mounted, and what I did notice before, there was a whole section missing of here. That is definitely walnut. So I'll have to replace that. Now the easiest way to do this is to probably chisel it out square and then drop in another piece. So I think I'll do that next. Okay, let's get over in. Let's stop it here. I'm going to go ahead and mark this up with a pencil so I can see where the high points are. So when the corner of this cabinet got broken off, I'm sure that the piece was saved, but over the years it got lost, probably thrown out. So unfortunately, I don't have that. But here we have a situation where I've had to sand this whole area down for a replacement piece. Now the piece of wood that I'm going to put in here fits exactly the profile I have sanded. Now once I get this into place, then I'll go ahead and size it while it's off the piece and then glue it into place. But the thing I've noticed that now that I've gotten this far is that this, if you look at what's happening here, what I'm seeing here, I've got the white wood here, and I'm going to lay the square right on that edge and then move it out. And what I've discovered is that not only is this piece missing, but there's also a sliver of a piece missing over here. So I've got to address that before I lay this in and glue it in place. I'm looking at all my router bits, and nothing I've got comes even close to what this profile is. So I'm going to have to do it the hard way, which is all by hand. What I've got here is a V chisel, which will follow this groove all the way down. Let's see how this goes. Let's see how this. Well, the profile is getting a little closer. Let's see if I can continue that. I'm getting to the point where I almost have to start sanding, but this chisel is working fairly well. Alright, I've got 2 layers of tape on here. Now when I sand, I'll try to stay away from that. So my idea here is just simply keep working at it until I feel that it's far enough down to blend it in. I want to get it all blended in. Then I'll do a final sand with a finer grit before the finish goes on. When this is done, I'll go ahead and put the legs back on, and you can see the full reconstruction phase of this is a complete refinish of this cabinet. So there'll be a two-parter. The second one will be redoing the finish. So in the next video, I'll show you step-by-step process of sanding it down, preparing it for the finish, doing any staining that needs to be done, and taking color notes as to what is happening around the edges, the trim on this, the leg assembly. All of this has to be kind of taken into consideration and recorded, because if you want to get it back to a pretty reasonable original state, then you've got to have a record of what it looked like before you started working on it. So we'll see how that works out, but for this project we're done, and I'll see you in the next video. If you've enjoyed watching this video, hit the like button, share it with your friends, and remember, keep your spirits high and your tools sharp.